About making life changing moves out here. It came up like I was just sitting down earlier, and I got a phone call, and I had to handle the heat inside of one of my apartments. So I was as I was doing that, it came across my mind about like life changing moves that I think a lot of us need to kind of reevaluate. That's out here like going through it. And I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for a lot of men out here that feel like they stagnated and they don't quite know what kind of direction that they're trying to go in. And I think a lot of people out here got to start making moves that's going to better themselves, better their life. And when I say that, better their life, I'm talking about opportunities. You got to jump on opportunities that's going to give you the best chance out here. Because I'm telling you, man, when I think about all the time that I wasted in my youth of being outside and just thinking everything was a joke, I'm realizing now, not now, I realized years ago, before I purchased my first real estate. And I used to bullshit, man. I used to go do money. I always thought that cars was everything. Cars, going clubbing, always. And it's one of those things that as you start to get older, you start to regret some of the moves you made in life. And I know I give it. I also understand too. When you sometimes make memories, you do all the crazy things that you do, like when you're younger, you do have memories that you sit back and be like, yo, I'm so happy that I did the things that I did. But my regrets is the money I lost, the money I blew, all the reckless things I did, times that I got into situations where I could have had my life taken. Like you sit back and you say to yourself, I'm blessed, I'm lucky, but damn, I wish I had better guidance growing up. And I give it that, I mean, my mom raised me. She did the best she could, but my pop wasn't around and I didn't have the right people around me. Even though I'm still here, I'm still doing my thing, but it made me sometimes wonder how far I would have got if I had the right role models that could have taught me certain things not to do. Because I used to hear that you can get money back. I give it that money is not everything, but I also understand too. Sometimes when you growing up in the hood, man, you hustle backwards. We hustle backwards, and we tend to think that in order for us to get ahead out here, we gotta have a nice car. We gotta have a couple dollars, and this is the shit that makes guys go the wrong direction. I realize when you're a teenager, you already thinking about females. And then females looking at you as like you need to have your shit together. When they don't even have their shit together. They messing with the dope boys. They messing with the old heads and everything. And you a young boy out here trying to do or emulate what the older doing. So when you in your teens, when you start getting a couple dollars, you start acting reckless. You get the car you want. Some of you, I can't speak for everybody. I know when I turned 21, I got my first luxury car. So I can definitely say you're not the norm because I'm out here driving around at my bulls and you realize when you out, you not the norm. You not. I used to think you the norm. You're not. I think when you start getting it, you start becoming cloudy. You don't even understand what's going on. That's probably why a couple times I almost got unalived. Even though, you know what I mean? That makes you realize it ain't just all about luck sometimes. Sometimes they just ain't your time. But it make you also sit back and realize why it's so much violence going on. Everybody ain't lucky. Everybody ain't lucky to make it to the next birthday. What's going on, YouTube? Say happy birthday. Happy Isaac. What's up, man? I don't like the way YouTube shows y'all messages and then they just disappear. There we go. Hold up. Live chat visible. Got you. What's up, Mary? What's up, y'all? Wesley Cross, what's up, man? Happy birthday. Yeah, but it just make you realize that some of our options are so limited. And when you see that your options are limited, it seems to leave you stagnated. Because I'm gonna tell you this, it took me to maybe about 25, 26 when I finally got out the hood. I moved from the hood into a high rise that was in the hood, but I really wasn't. I don't think I was really in the hood. Oh no, I'm lying. Yeah, I was. And I realized that when I moved somewhere where it cost me way more bread, oh man, I slept so much better. I did. I'm keeping it real. I slept so much better. Live chat, top chat. So when I slept, was able, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know how many, like, where y'all live at, but if you pay attention, like if you are mindful of your surroundings, like you in the hood right now, and you looking at your life right now, and you say to yourself, "Yo, I like where I'm at. I like where I'm at." Now, I thought the same thing. I like where I'm at until I started going different places, traveling, and then all of a sudden, as you start growing and you start wanting more, you stop having your friends over your crib all the time and y'all bullshitting all the time. You'll start to notice. You start to implement certain characteristics in yourself that make you feel like you being fake. Because I'm gonna keep it real. When you start changing up, you like, nah, I ain't coming on my crib this weekend. Like I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing. I'm relaxing. Motherfuckers don't have the same energy for you. They like, yo, you acting like a sucker. You acting like a clown. Motherfuckers start talking bad about you. What I start learning is that's what you want. When you start acting like that, that means you're going the right way. I'm gonna tell you why. All that tough, always trying to be out and about, always trying to be seen. When I was always trying to be seen, that's the shit that almost got me unalived. Being outside all the time. When I almost got robbed. Luckily, you know what I mean? I wasn't outside dolo, but I also had my, you know what I mean? I was always licensed to carry too. So I realized, but I'm gonna tell you something valuable that I started learning in life. Going in the house at 5 in the morning and 4 in the morning, pulling all nighters, I realized why I was getting into stuff. I was going to get into stuff because, dog, when you out that late, dog, for some odd reason, it is the most fun. It feel like the most fun. But I'm gonna tell you, the most stuff go down at night. I don't know where y'all from, but no hood is no different than any other hood. And I remember this one night. If I don't know where y'all at or where y'all from or whatnot, but I remember this time off of Broad Street. I remember the Checkers that was off of Gerard. I remember this bull was up inside the Checkers. Anybody know if that's from an area or if you familiar with it? What's up? If y'all familiar with that area, this dude was up in Checkers. He was up and ordering something. I was in the drive-thru. But as I was going around the drive-thru, you could see through the glass, like up in the area where you could walk up, but you're not utilizing that area. But I know, what's up, y'all? What's up, Christian? What's up, Christian? Christian? Hey, what's up? So I remember, boy walked up. He had that thing out. He grabbed my man's pockets and said, yo, come up off of that pussy. Now look, I'm coming to the drive-thru. Next thing you know, when I see that, I said, oh shit. Took off. I'm like, damn, he just got robbed. It was like maybe like 2:30 in the morning. But you know Philly at that time, like Checkers used to be popping. It was like almost like Club McDonald's. And when you see stuff like that, you so conditioned to see stuff like that. It don't phase you, but it does phase you. You think it don't. You realize it does phase you because as time go on, you start moving different. You like, I ain't going up in there. I ain't trying to get caught up. You know what I mean? You think like that. But then in actuality, when you think about it, your ass should really be home. Maybe not in the bed, maybe with your girl or whatnot. But that's why I say a lot of times now, like when people kind of look at their life and they say to themselves, yo, they need to change certain things about themselves in order to better themselves. That's where you have to change at. You got to change up here mentally. And I realized that if you a lot of times start to make those changes, you start to actually progress. And I realized that when you start meeting different people, you start having a different outlook of life. What's going on, my YouTube family? What's up, baby? What's happening? I just joined not long ago. Oh, that's what's up, Christian. What's your content on? Are you looking like what you looking to do right now? Like with your life right now? You looking to make some changes? Cause that's basically what I'm talking about right now. Like the changes, like a lot of us got to make right now out here in this atmosphere. Like a lot of us right now, that you looking at the economy right now, you seeing a lot of people undecisive about life right now, and it's kind of tricky. I'm gonna be real, cause the way the world is right now, it's kind of hard to figure life out right now. A lot of people giving up, man, giving up on life right now, and it's kind of messed up because when you seeing people just giving up on life right now, it making people feel like it's hopeless, but it's not. Nah, I wish the chat thing could stay up. Hopefully, it'll stay up. What's up, Mary? So, but like when you kind of like, that's why I say, man, I think a lot of times, man, people got to start to get to a point where as though they start to write their plans down. And I think that a lot of times, like if you don't write your plans down, and I used to think that wasn't helpful to write your stuff down. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, like for instance, if y'all got a tablet, especially like you got a tablet or something like that, and like one with a pen or something, I think you need to you know what I mean, write that stuff down. Yo, Scout. I love it when somebody come in starting stuff, yo. What's up, Rock? What's that? What forever? What fever? Fisher. What's up, Scout? Got the dome out, baby. Oh man, yo, I need a laugh. JK, bro, you cool? What's up, baby? Come up in this thing. I'm talking about, man, like making changes out here, yo. Cause I'm seeing a lot of young boys. I'm seeing it, man. Like when I turn the news on, I see so many young boys and moving out of Philly. Dog, I'm gonna keep it real. I seen the dude Gilly just talking about the city, and I was just in the city past 2 weekends ago, and it just made me realize, man, a lot of cats out here lost, yo. A lot. Like you seen a lot of boys out here lost. You seeing more death than ever. Like we seeing so much death to the point where it's though we out of hand right now. Let me see. Select. Oh, here we go. How many fingers can you fit? How many can you fit in your throat? Hey, I grew up rough, dog. I've been in a lot, man. That don't faze me. But I love the comment. That make me smile, though. I sub. Oh, okay, Sean. Appreciate the love. Y'all real? I'm in the hood. Yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Hold up. I hate how these chats disappear, yo. YouTube, get it together, yo. With these chats, how they disappear. I shouldn't have to keep hitting this. Y'all real? You in the hood? Where you at? Where you from? You know what I'm talking about, though. Like gunshots and stuff like that. Like, dog, I moved my pop out the hood. Now my pop is over here in Jersey with me. And he told me to my face, excuse me, I'm sorry. I got this nice little storm popping. That joint's strong. He said to me, I asked him, I said, Pop, when the last time you been in the city? Yo, he literally stopped and was like, damn. He said, you know what? When I first moved over here, the first month, I was going back and forth. He said, damn, I can't remember the last time I was there. And he was only there like maybe a month ago. We're not far. I'm not far from Philly. But it's just that once he got out of that area he was in and I moved him over here, he like, dog, it feel good not hearing gunshots. Like, it's sad that we live in a world where as though where you live at can dictate how you feel about home. When home feels uncomfortable, let's be real, y'all. When home feels uncomfortable, just because of your environment, it's a problem. Like I remember times I lived in a high rise. This high rise is in West Philly. It was called Brimore Suites apartment. And I always had two vehicles. So I used to park my one vehicle in the back of the building, in the back. It wasn't secure. They had no real security back there. So I parked my one whip back there, and I parked my other one in the front. And dog, when I used to go home late night, I used to keep one in the chamber, dog. And then what's crazy is I walked to my building. My building had an all glass door so I could see in my building. This one night, no, that wasn't. That was a different night. That was a different night. It was. Though I had multiple things that happened. I had one time my boy came through. I gave him a spare key. He called me up. He said, "Yo, you got any problems with anybody?" I said, "Nah." Luckily, this wasn't about me. What's up, Diamond? What's up, baby? Hold up. I think that's the dude. I hope that. Hold on. I think that's the female. Oh yeah, got you. Appreciate it, Diamond. I had to look at the picture. I almost called you baby. And I'm like, hold up, might be a dude. I might be messing up. So I was walking to my building. He hit my phone. He was all the way up in my apartment. He's like, yo, you got a problem or something like with anybody? I said, nah. He said, dog, when I go off the elevator, it's like 10 niggas on your floor. But they like in the stairwell. So I was like thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I ain't did nothing. I ain't think I got into them. Then I was like, nah, it can't be me. Dog, it was the bull 2 doors down from me. I don't know what he did. I got off the elevator and I already knew they was right there, but I tried to act like I didn't know. Dog, do you know 2 dudes opened up the stairwell, looked out, and I said, yo, what's up, yo? And he's like, yo. But I knew it was other ones. I said, damn, whatever he did, I don't know. Then I had a motherfucker, I was going to say they broke in my apartment, but they did break in my apartment. What happened was, y'all ever, I don't know if you ever had your crib broken into or someone, you know what I mean, broke up your crib. I don't know if you ever had that. I had it once, but they didn't break in. This is what they did. They had a key. I found this out because I came home one time and my door was unlocked. And I was like, I always lock my door. So when I walked to my crib, first thing I'm thinking, I'm nervous, but I felt different. I just felt different. I don't know if you ever had your crib, somebody ever came up in your crib, but you feel different. And what happened with this situation was I walked in my crib. I lived on the 9th floor. It was a nice apartment too, but it was my location. See, that's the thing. Just because you got a nice apartment don't mean shit. It's your location because you still got to pop up outside. So as I go in my apartment, I peeped that when I went in, shit seemed a little out of place though. Like it didn't feel right in there. So first thing I look for my PlayStation. Hey, look, you know, guys, we need our PS. So I look, I see it, nothing looked tampered with, nothing looked off. What looked off was, it looked like I was missing some clothes, but I couldn't tell. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm tripping. I might have left and I didn't remember to lock my door. Well, make a long story short, this shit boring me. I'm about to put my own fucking self to sleep. You can tell I got ADD. I hate when I hear people talk and I feel like they just clear eyes. Like, man, if you don't wake up. So, make a long story short, I realized with 2 weeks later, I was going out. I had bought these new clothes. I had a bunch of clothes, but I was looking for a certain shirt. All of a sudden, something hit me and said, where the fuck is my shirt at? I bought the shirt. It was brand new. It was yellow. And it had like this design on it. Soon as it dawned on me, I said, yo, somebody was in my apartment. I thought back 2 weeks ago. Do you know, all my life, 2 days later, I'm walking, getting off my elevator. I meet this boy. This boy, I thought he was white. But he could have been mixed, but he was cool. We never spoke, but we see each other. Then we start like give each other a nod. You know how I be in the city, dog. I seen a comment come down. My fault. In the hood, me too. Oh, you in Texas? Y'all around? What part of Texas? Houston? So when I hate how these joints disappear. I'm gonna come to our next live. Appreciate it, Krisha. In Texas, what happens in mine? Let me see. I'm sorry, y'all. I got 2 lives going on. I apologize. You in Houston. Woo! Houston wild right now. I've been reading up on, not reading, they've been talking about on the news, y'all. Houston is popping. But I heard there's a lot going on there, too. So, make a long story short, so what happened was the bull, man, him not. So one day, he just said, hey, man, I don't want to bother you. He said, "Can I ask you a question?" So I looked at him. I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "No, I ain't." He's, I be giving off, I guess, mean look. I don't know. You know how I be, man. You ain't real polite, and I ain't realize it. But then once he started talking, he's like, "Yo, did you ever come home and feel like somebody was in your apartment, like somebody came to your apartment or something?" When he said that shit to me, I straight told him no, but I wanted to say yeah. But a lot of times, you don't really be wanting to say something to people because you feel uncomfortable about it. But at the same time, you like, ah. But then next thing you know, I was on full alert. Let me hit the likes, yo. I just realized hit the like so more people could come up in the live, y'all. If y'all can, y'all, I really appreciate it. So what I end up noticing was once he told me that, now I'm on full alert. So when I go in my crib, yo, all of a sudden, that's when I started looking at everything. And I was like, yo, I'm going to catch the motherfucker that's doing that. Because now I know somebody got a key. Because nobody broke in my apartment. By him saying that, he told me that, and that was a sign. Dog, on my life. 3 weeks later, dog, on my life. When I tell you, timing is everything. I stayed home for maybe a couple days. I went to work I went to work on a Monday. But then I took off the rest of the week. Yo, why I fall asleep on my couch in the living room, a motherfucker come walking in my apartment. I happened to have I was on my living room couch, laid back, and I was watching TV, but I dozed off. And when I dozed off, dog, I felt like, I don't know if I felt somebody, but he wasn't right there. What happened was I just felt the energy, and when I happened to look, I seen a shadow. Motherfucker took off, nigga. I chased him down 2 flights of steps, maybe three, whatever. Chased him, dog. I tried to take his head off. I didn't catch him. He made it because by the time I jumped up, I realized maybe after 4 or 5 seconds. 4 or 5 seconds is pretty long after a person took off. It took me a minute to really, because you gotta remember, I just woke up. Chased him. I knew what floor he got off on. Within a week later, I ran into the maintenance guy. I asked him, I said, yo, did you come in my apartment? This is a Mexican dude, but I knew it couldn't have been him. Because first of all, he ain't fast. And he's not that agile, and he's an older gentleman. So I don't know who came up in my apartment. Come to find out, I end up finding out it was the maintenance guy's daughter's boyfriend. That's why I say a lot of times, man, when you in the hood, man, you got the most reckless shit that be happening. And they be thinking they can get away with that stuff. And that's why you see so many people being unalived in the city, man, because when you see how reckless it is, people, and don't get it twisted, it can happen anywhere. But when you're in the hood, your odds is very high. And this is somebody from my sister. My sister got shot. She's still here, though. She's still living with the bullet inside of her. My sister is 8 years under me. And when she got shot, I was on a basketball court. And she got shot. And she got shot being a hard-headed ass. Like she happened to, my mom told her to stay in front of the house. She dipped off with her girlfriends and thought she was going to be able to sneak off and go to the Chinese store with them. And some shit popped off and a shootout happened. And my sister ended up getting hit. So, by the grace of God, she made it, But, man, you see, around, curious, up in Houston, like the area you in, are you like because I know it's got to be some good parts to Houston. You in the real rough part? You're real. Texican, what's up? Hold up. Jayon, I don't know how you say that name. T240. STEM 206. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? Cause I know a lot of times, man, when you live in rough areas, man, and I know what it's like, and that's the bad part, man. When you live in a rough area, it shapes your mind to be so rough, and it also leaves you stagnated sometimes. Because a lot of times when you out here and you get stagnated, you become very reckless. And I remember being aggressive all the time, driving, arguing, fights. You get to a point, it get out of hand. That's why when you look at kids today, you really can't blame them. When you look at kids all messed up, T40, 25 cents sodas. These kids don't know. No, they don't know penny candy. T40, hell no, they don't. Shit, they don't know nothing about the penny candy, the 50-cent sodas, and then next thing you know, that shit went up. And then, dog, you know what I knew? It's a trap. I noticed when, by having a vehicle, you go to the grocery store. You'll notice you spend a certain amount of money in the grocery store. But if you go to the grocery store in the hood, that shit is almost double, triple the price. Oh, how that possible? But then I found out why when I looked up. What happened is when you got so many people in the low income areas, because they getting a lot of assistance. They tend to go up in high in prices because they know they're getting assistance. They're trying to go to their, the welfare. I guess they consider welfare checks. Or, you know what I'm talking about, food stamps and whatnot. They know they're getting that, and that's how they get them. And I said, yo, that's crazy. Even loose cigarettes. Motherfuckers selling loose cigarettes. I don't know if y'all know. Selling loose cigarettes is illegal. Like, you're not allowed to do that, but motherfuckers do it. I remember my uncle used to buy him the cigarettes for $2 for one cigarette. Then I'm sitting there thinking, I added up. I'm like, wait a minute. That motherfucker about to buy almost 2 packs of cigarettes off of one cigarette with singles just because he ain't got enough money to buy a whole pack of cigarettes. I said, boy, drugs, man. I swear. Fuck that. Rest in peace, my uncle. But goddamn, boy. Look, I remember when I left my grandma's crib, when I first moved out. I remember I left all my Jordans at her crib. And I was 1840. Hold on. Our parents had it worse. Yeah, you know what? T40? Yeah. I'm going to say they did have it worse. I don't know. Because the way our parents be explaining shit sometimes, they be like, yo, it was the best. They be explaining sometimes the way the hood is to be a very nice area. I think what it happens is I'm an 80s baby. So me growing up, I had a lot of fun times. But that shit was rough. And I didn't realize how rough it was until I got older. Microwave ovens for TV. Yo, you ain't never lie, yo. Now we got air fryers now. Yo, man. Hey, shit, man. McDonald's was the shit at that time. Damn, hey, look, McDonald's was the place to go. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Anybody can sit up there and lie and say McDonald's was always nasty shit. Big Mac's was a Big Mac. That it owned up to its name. The dollar menu, it owned up. I remember I spent $8. Oh my God, if my cousin was on, we spent $8. $8 and had 8 items from McDonald's dollar menu. And for some odd reason, we won't even talk about cancer at the time. It wasn't running rampant. I don't know what we eating today, dog. Even though the food might have been fake. But shit, what's going on today? They really killing everybody because I was just watching this lady. This bull was interviewing in Philly. She was in hospice. And dog, that shit almost brought tears to my eyes. She was, I think, 40 or 44. I forgot. She's in her 40s, early 40s. And she got cancer. He asked her, well, what do you feel about your cancer? Like, what do you feel about it? Like, you feel optimistic or you feel like you're going to make it? Dog, what she said out of her mouth after he asked that, dog, I got teary. I had to turn that shit off. She said, it's funny you say that. She said, am I optimistic? She said, well, I'm actually not. I actually have maybe a month or two and I'm out of here. I'm like, what? She said, her cancer is too rampant. Like she said they can't do anything for her. So that's why she's there. And I'm like, this is why I am a big opponent of fuck the streets. I think a lot of the generation before us, especially the generation before me, I grew up on my grandpa being big time out in the street. So, and then my mom, damn, I'm about to tell business. I'm gonna just say, somebody I looked at as a dad. He was very big time in the street. And growing up, when you see the drug game, how it was, I dog, it makes you glorify it. It does. And it's sad because you only glorify it because you don't see nothing different. And a lot of times when you don't see nothing different, everything looks, you look like you can benefit from the drug game. And only because when you see people riding around, everything look good. But this is the problem when everything's looking good. Hey, y'all around. Did I say your name right? I hope I'm not messing your name up. I'm in the heart of the pretty rough. Got you. Let me add you around. The way YouTube works, man, they keep disappearing alive. So when you send stuff, I don't see it, and it'll flash up and then it disappear. Let me ask you something. You ever dealt with? No, I'm not gonna say that because shit. I don't want nobody to ask me something that's gonna incriminate. I ain't trying to get nobody. I'm gonna say it like this. Did you was you at a point in your life where you used to glorify the drug game? Because this is my thing, man. I used to glorify it because it was cool. That's what I mean. Did you glorify it? Because I did. I remember, well, he passed away now. Passed away last year. Mr. Gary. His name was Gary. And dog, when I tell you, this was my mom's boyfriend. Dog, when I tell you, I love this dude like everything. I felt like he was my pop. Dog, I remember when I first seen the 740. Remember, 740s are old. That was when they had the flat back. And I remember when I first seen the 7 Series, he had a 740. When you think about it now, they ugly as hell. But at that time, it was the shit. And I didn't know what it was. I'm like, damn, I remember he had the Volvo. And then I just remember he had the Harley Davidson one time when he came up the street. And he used to always look out for me. And he was like, hey, boy. Like, he talked to me like I was his son. He called me son and everything. But he was rough. But he was cocky. But he was cool as hell. He passed October. He's the one that helped me on my property. Ain't that something? Small, yo. Love him, man. Love him. I miss him to death. But growing up, I glorified it because when you see these things, you see all the good things. But I did not know that in the midst of that war of the drug game, I didn't realize all the people that died. I didn't know that my aunt, well, I'm about to mention my aunts and them there. I'm not going to. Oh, appreciate it. I don't know where the hell that came from. Oh, appreciate that. Whoever sent me that, I appreciate that. Whoever that was that helped me achieve the goal. You know what I mean? People looking, it looks like a pill. Yeah, it does. Will Sharon, what's up, baby? Yo, I know I'm out the truck today, baby. Out the truck. Normally, look. Normally when you see me, I got a hat on and shit like that. I'm always got my hat on. Got the baldy out, baby. Ready to headbutt a motherfucker. Bow! Used to always headbutt when I was a baby. But T40, you right. Because, God damn. This is a drink. It's like a coffee, but it's not coffee. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's liquor, but it's a coffee. Man, this shit on popping. So when I'm done this drink, I know I'm gonna be earthed up. But I remember my aunt, brother. I used to ask her, I'm like, well, how he died? She said it was a deal that went bad, and they shot him up so crazy. Look, dog, it's an ugly game. And I remember the person I'm talking about now, the one I looked at as a pop, Gary. His name was Gary because he passed last year, so I say his name. G-Man, peace. Yeah, after hours. You know it, baby. After hours, baby. So I remember my mom when she told me how he ended up going from a millionaire to end up going broke. Dog, if I tell you how he went broke, you will understand why the drug game is fickle. Dog, he went broke overnight. How you think he went broke overnight? Tell me, I want to see if somebody, it's an easy guess. Appreciate the likes, y'all. Hit me with the likes. Hit me with the likes, baby. How y'all think he went broke overnight? I want to know. Just take a guess. I'm going to give you like, how you think he, over a woman? Hell no. I got to tell you how he went broke. My mom said he got so fucking greedy because one of his boys just got killed. So what he's trying to do was, he was trying to re-up his packs because he was serving a lot of people. So whoever he went through some foreign motherfuckers. They met him somewhere. I don't know where they met him at. They met him somewhere. My mom said he went by himself. He met up with these guys. I don't know if they were I don't know what they were. My mom remember it like it was yesterday. His ass took a whole million. He said he took his all. He went, he had people on the money. So his million, whatever he had more than 1 million. But he ended up loaning people, and then a couple cats got killed. So I guess he was trying to move and operate differently, but from a different connect. Dog, my mom said he took his whole million, his whole damn million to a whole, dog. I don't know. That might be why he lived long. Because he did that. That's what took him out the game. And he said when they took it, he was in a back room. Y'all, I ended up asking him the story, and he told me. He said he was in a back room. He said when he was talking to him, he was doing a deal. He told them he had people down the street, but he didn't. He said he lied. He bluffed them. But he said what he fucked up was whoever the people he was dealing with, he said they were some serious people, so they didn't give a shit. They was looking to take the money. He said when they left him in a room, he heard them speaking the whatever language they were speaking. They might have been Spanish. I don't know. And he said he peeped that they was actually going to offer him and take his money. They said as he's coming back in the room, he slipped through the window and they went after him. But they didn't let shots off because that would have probably, I guess, notified like anybody that shooting went on. He ran, jumped out the window, ran. He said he wanted to grab the money. He said, but dog, that shit was a life or death. He said he got out the window. And he said it was the dumbest fucking move he did. And it was greed. Dog, he said he was trying to do too much. And he would have never did that before. But too many people got killed within a 2-week span. And he was, dog, I think sometimes in life, when things happen, people make decisions accordingly to what's going on. And it's hard to really think straight. And I realized that when my sister got shot, how I operated after she got shot. And motherfuckers told me who did it. You don't think right. That's why a lot of times as guys, as men, it is dangerous for us to sometimes take advice from women. Or if women tell us something, oh, such and such did this. You ever notice as men, we go gun-ho. We go crazy. We go ballistic. Motherfucker says this to my mom or they did this to my wife. And then next thing you know, somebody get unalived. It's hard to really think straight when we in chaos. That's why they always say that when you going through stuff, you have to sometimes sit down and take a breather and think first. A lot of cats is locked up in prison right now off of jumping the gun. Because my grandpa, I remember my grandpa, I ain't seen my grandpa for almost, I guess, 10, 15 years. That was a long time. Tap it up. Oh, appreciate G-Man. Appreciate, I done forgot about the taps. I keep forgetting. I'll be like, y'all, I don't be telling nobody to tap because I'll be forgetting that the taps actually get people to your live. I'll be tripping though. Appreciate it, G-Man. But I realized that when we make these decisions, like when I see my grandpapa again, he went back to hustling. And then next thing you know, his ass caught a stroke. And it took him out the game. I think sometimes, man, in the hood, man, that's why you gotta move, man. I never been a component when people say, "Oh, you can't leave." Well, what the fuck am I gonna stay here for? I'm gonna get unalived? Because one day I learned when I started getting a couple dollars when I was a young boy, when I was 21, I had the bubble GS. This is the shit that put a target on my back. I remember when a motherfucker tried to get me at 3 in the morning when I pulled up to my crib. Now, mind you, I'm 21. I lived in this area. I don't know if y'all familiar with an area called Chester, PA. I remember going in the crib, coming off of Holland Avenue, and I remember going to, I lived off of Holland, and I remember going in the crib, this nigga coming down the block at 3 in the morning, yo. And I seen him. I was like, damn, it's fucking 3 in the morning. It wasn't even cold outside. It was like maybe 70 degrees outside. It was at nighttime, so it might have been spring or summer. I can't remember. And I remember I'm looking, and at that time I had the Bubble GS. Bubble GS was the shit at that time. Survival to fit. Yo, it is, G-man. Survival is everything. So my spider senses went up. My crib is in the middle of the block. Oh, I thank God for that. I'm glad my house is in the middle of the block. If my house was on the corner, anybody could have ran up on me. So I parked my car across the street. But when I seen dude, I went around the block. I left, went around the block. I went up another street, came back. I took maybe 10 minutes to come back because I felt scared. I'm going to keep it real. I did. I'd be lying to you. You know how motherfuckers say, I ain't never scared. Shit. Men are scared. We be lying. What's up, Cliff Love? What's up, baby? So, G-Man, I was nervous, dog. And my heart was beating. So what I did was I put one in the chamber. I made sure just in case, I'm like, I don't want to accidentally pop my body, but I'm going to put one in the chamber. And I was licensed to carry it. I'm going to let you know that I was licensed. I got licensed at 21. And I was able to get my license because I have a record. In PA, you can do that. So I got out the car. As soon as I pulled up, I got out the car. Dog. Why that nigga come from around the corner to try to meet me? He must have sat there and waited. Or he was, I don't know I think he knew me. I just didn't know who it was. But he was trying to get me. Dog, I made it maybe almost to my door. Almost. About to tear his ass out the frame. I didn't even have to scream. I seen him coming up and I just said one word to him. I said, try it. That's all I said to him. It's nighttime. I ain't want to be loud. I ain't want to be all outlandish. I ain't want people to wake up. I just said, I said, try it. That's all I said. Try it. I see him. Dog, it's nighttime. So I can't see him, but I see his hoodie up and I see his arm is in this thing. But dog, I'm ready. I got my shit in my hand. It's 3 in the morning. He turned back around. He didn't even say nothing. You know why he ain't say nothing? Dude was smart. Because if he said something, I would have known probably who it was. Because he obviously wasn't far from, I don't know where he's from. I don't know. But he could have been from around there. And he dipped off. And after that, I was like, yo, I gotta fucking move. I gotta move. I can't be a young boy. That's the thing I realized too with these young boys. You can floss all you want in the hood. I am a testament to tell you right now, you gonna get got. They gonna get you because they almost got me 2 times. The last time they almost got me, dude actually he would have succeeded. He would have. They got me on. It was an area called 9th Street. I was going to my cousin's crib, and it was like 12:30 in the 12:30 at night. You know, when you outside, 12:30 feel like it's daytime, but it ain't. It's nighttime. It just feel like that. You know how it is in the hood. The hood wakes up at 10:30 at night. I'm telling you that right now. It does. It wakes up at 12:30 at night. That's why the hood is always popping, yo. The hood is always popping. Late night? What? You can't tell me the hood ain't the shit once 10 o'clock hit. It is popping. The bitch is up. Ooh, raise the roof. Dog, oh my God. So I pulls up. As I'm pulling up, you can tell the bubble jet. You can tell the lights. I pull up. My cousin was already on the porch waiting on me. He had one of them. You know when you're on the porch in the hood, you know them porches that got them. What they call it? The awnings. Them awnings. Is that what that's called? Awning. Appreciate the lives, yo. Appreciate the love, y'all. I don't know what the fuck I just said. You can tell I'm drinking. I don't know what I just said just now. But the awnings. So as I'm pulling up, I know I know he's on the porch, but I can't see him. But he's on the porch because he's waiting on me. I just got off the phone with him. So as I'm get pulling up, my cousin don't say nothing to me. My dog, my man was about to peel my cap in the middle of the street. I thank you, God. I thank God today. I still talk about it to my cousin. I said, damn, cousin, remember you say, he's like, nigga, why you still mention that? I have to. My cousin saved my fucking life. Saved my life. He saved my life. Saved my life. Dog, I have never been caught off guard like that. But I couldn't stop that. You know how when you watch the news and you ever watch the news and they say somebody got unalived and you look and you like, well, damn, how the fuck that happened? You be looking at it like, how'd that happen? You confused. And you notice when you're out here in the world, you confused because when you see, like when I turn the news, I still get Philly news because I'm right across the water. I'm at the water. I actually live at the water, like where I'm right here. I go right to the water. But a lot of times when people don't understand how the hood operates, when you out, the hood is so close. Everybody's so close together. It's easy to get somebody. That's why if you do some shit to somebody, you're not hard to find. You can stay in the house, but your ass is going to eventually come outside. You will come outside. So as I proceeded to get out my car, what's up, Chuck John? What's up, upper management? What's up, baby? So as I went to get out my car, my cousin on the porch waiting on me. But whoever this dude was didn't see my cousin on the porch because that awning that's on his porch overlaps his whole porch. So his porch looks pitch black. As I get out the car, my man come down between houses. My cousin said he was already on him when I was pulling up. He said he watched me pull up. And he dipped. My cousin said he didn't know he dipped. So my cousin looked as he walked past his house. He said he noticed he just fucking disappeared. So my cousin knew what time it was. But he said if he had said something to me, dude would have known he was up on the porch. But my cousin said he wasn't sure. He said, dog, as he walked past his crib, he said, yo, that motherfucker just disappeared. But he didn't. He dipped. Between houses or on a step. So as I get out my car, my lights are still on. So my car is off though. You know the lights take a while to come off. So my lights are still lighting the whole block up. Dog, my gun is on my side. Dog, it still didn't matter. I wouldn't have been able to grab it. I wouldn't have. Dog, he caught me so crazy. As I went to cross the street to my cousin, I thank God today I never said nothing. Normally I say stupid shit to my cousin. I say something like, you stop pussy. But it's 12:30 at night, so I ain't do that. For some odd reason, I ain't screamed up to my cousin. Normally I'm goofy. I didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing to me. He just on the porch waiting on me. My nigga, as I'm coming across the street, my gun right here, as I look, my man running up on me. He ran up. Before he got out of his mouth whatever he's about to say to me, oh my God, I thank God for my cousin. Yo, nigga didn't succeed. That was I'ma just say, he did not succeed. I'm still here today. I'ma tell you this. After that incident, I fucking moved. Cause that's 2 times in a matter of a month that some shit almost happened to me. And I knew right then and there, being a young boy, I'm like, dog, I'm not going to make it to 23. I'm not. Dog, when I learned this in the hood, dog, you know what I learned? You can't be out here flossing. I'm sorry. I grew up under some bad leadership. And I realized as I started getting older, when I moved out of my city, and I end up moving. I remember when I moved to Manayunk, outside of, it's part of Philly, but it's different from Philly. I'm telling y'all now, it's different. It's not the same. When I move out of the hood to a nicer area, dog, night and day. I understand now how easy it is to be killed compared to somebody being able to go home and sleep in peace. Because I remember the days of just growing up, and I never bragged. I was just, you know what I mean, living life. But when you get a little too much notoriety and people start to know you from the whips and shit like that, and then motherfuckers trying to line you up, you start to understand, dog, you playing a dangerous game, a game you ain't ready for. And I knew I wasn't ready for that shit because it was starting to happen a little too often. And it was happening a little too often to the point I started getting scared all the time. Like I'd be out and I'd be like, I'm gonna end up accidentally shit. Dog, we as men, as men, when we honest with each other, we honest with each other. We like, nigga, I'm scared. Like that shit had me on alert. Because after a while, I'm like, dog, I can't stay here. Cause dog, when you're in the hood, everybody out and shit just happens. It's like when my sister got shot. I thank God she's still here. She still had the bullet in her leg. It stopped at her main artery. Y'all know in the leg, you got your main arteries. It went through one leg and it stopped at her main artery. And so when that happened when I was on the basketball court, a young boy. So when you look at stuff like that, you realize that a lot of us don't escape violence. It's just that we end up being blessed to end up making it through it. And some don't. Upper management, let me see. Drive my kids through your, hold up. I drive my kids through your hood and tell them they'll live here if they don't get upper management. Wow. Yo, it's true. Shit. Not long ago, I rolled through Kensington. Damn, dog. If you talk about zombies, I don't know if y'all familiar with Kensington. It's in the north part of Philly. Dog, I'm gonna tell you, that is the most depressing. That shit's depressing. That shit is depressing. Like you seeing motherfuckers like, I don't know what kind of fucking drug that is. Where you can stand up. I don't want to lose gambling. Hold up. Never glorifiable was a lot of my brothers I did look up to. My fault, yo, Rail. I ain't mean to forget about you pimping and gambling. But the thing is, man, like it's just a scary place to be, man, when you out here and you trying to feel life out. And I think that's what's happening to a lot of dudes out here, a lot of young boys. Because when you think about it, you see a lot of young boys today walking around and they clueless, man. Like when you see cats out here and they can't really progress in life because you look at their circumstances. Their circumstances is they been raised around nothing but recklessness. They been raised to be a savior for their mom. And the moms, I'm sorry, but the moms really got their sons out here thinking that they're going to save the world. And they're not. What's going to end up happening, your son's going to get unalived. Or they're going to end up taking a life. We're seeing it. I remember this little boy. My son, oh man, I remember this happened maybe 2 years ago. Yup. My pop was still in West Philly. Whoever this lady was, I can't remember who she was. I don't know who she was. I don't even care to know who she was. She had a son, dog. Her fucking son was so bad. When I say bad, I'm going to keep it real. You don't put this on people, but dog, I see him being a murderer or something's going to happen to him in the future. I can't see him making it. Dog, this little motherfucker was so bad. And I say bad. I don't know if he was a drug baby, but what he did when we pulled up, we caught it in a tail end. She was talking to him. He turned around. He said, "Shut up, bitch." I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Yo." I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "Wait a minute." Thought he might have been about 9 or 10. Give or take, he could have been about 11 or 12. Dog. He went down the steps. She said, I ain't gonna say everything she said. Dog, she talked to him like he was a grown man, even though he said what he said. And I was like, yo, he got in the car. All of a sudden, his grandma comes out the door. Mind you, my pop and them must know them, or his wife know them, because they knew that's where they came from. My pop and them crib. Dog, when they got inside the car, she said, "Didn't I fucking tell you something?" Dog, she started punching them all in the face. He actually went to try to kick her. He must have jammed her finger. Dog, you can tell I remember this shit. He must have jammed her fingers. She said, "You stupid mother." Like, dog, she was calling him names. He said, "F you, bitch. F you, bitch." Dog, my son looked at me. My son don't play that shit. Well, first off, my son would never do that. Knock his goddamn block off. He looked at me and said, "Dad, why he talking to them like that?" I said, "Yo, go up in Papa's house. Go ahead, up in there." He didn't know what was going on. My son just was like caught off guard. I'm gonna have to tell my son, "You will never talk like that." I ain't gotta tell that. It's already implemented in him. Like, I'm his dad. Like, he know better. I don't have to hit. Oh, last time I tapped my son's ass was that ain't sound right. Tapped his ass. Last time I had to straighten my son out. I'm gonna say that because I don't know how that shit be perceived. Got Bill Cosby and shit. R. Kelly's walking around. They be thinking weird shit. I ain't have to tell my son. I pause. I know, G man. I was like, dog, you know when you talking sometimes. Sometimes you need Cameron or Damon Dash. Nah, I ain't gonna say Damon Dash. Damon Dash, she'll fuck around to put a bullet hole in that motherfucker. Damon Dash disrespectful. But my son knows better. And that's one of the things, G man, a lot of these boys need, man. They need their fathers, dog. It ain't working. All this shit. When ladies be walking around, "I know how to raise my kids." Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. If that's true, look, I'm not bashing, but I'm gonna keep it real. We done see some of the most biggest whores out here. Now, as guys, we might like it. I ain't gonna front. I like it sometimes. I do. Oh, chocolate channel pudding pop. No, I'm fucking lying. I'm lying. Because some of these motherfuckers dirty and they stink. I'm gonna say this. You need fathers out here. Because one thing I noticed being a father, my son did some shit the other day to his mom. She called me on the phone with ASAP. She told me, the first thing she told me on the phone, she said, "Your son just told me, don't call my dad. Because he said something about, damn, I'm spitting and shit. You ain't going to be able to do nothing to me." He said that shit to her. He said something about she ain't going to be able to do nothing to him. Now, my son's 7, but now my son is at her shoulder. My son's going to be pretty tall. I'm 6 feet tall, about 6 feet, I'm like 240. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get down to 200, trying to get these cuts. I almost ripped my fucking shirt just now. God damn, I'm nice with it. Nice with it. What? Nice with this shit. I would stand up, but I'm butterball naked. I ain't butterball naked. That'd be some freak shit though. If I stand up, you like this nigga talking to us with no drawers on and a t-shirt? No, I ain't doing that. But he started getting reckless with his mom, and I had to check that shit. I was happy though. I ain't gonna front. I was like, yeah, she thinks she tough. I'm like, I wish she would say something slick. My son had baptized the shit out of her. Nah, but he know better, and I had to make sure. Hold on, let me plug this up. I had to make sure that my son understand that no disrespect is going to be allowed. You're not going to talk to your mom that way. Hold on. You know what I mean? But we was on bad terms. I'd be like, "Man, cuss that bitch out." Nah, I was. I'm just saying we on good terms. Nah, but that's when you know you got to check that. Now imagine if my son didn't have his father around. She would end up probably punching on him, which means once he become a little bit bigger and taller and stronger, that's when now she's going to realize, "Oh, damn, I got caught as uncles or somebody." Yeah, they need dads. They need left a whole state to raise my son. Yeah, G-Man, we know. Dog, it's stuff that we don't even have to say. We can grab our son. I call it the death grip. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you be out, you be like, the fuck did I just tell you? What did I just tell you? Okay, okay, okay. You know what I'm talking about, G-Man, with that death grip? I call it the death grip. You ain't even gotta say nothing. It's that grip that hurt. You squeezing them. And you like, yo, didn't I just tell you? Didn't I just tell you? You ain't gotta say nothing loud. And they know right then and there. It's the yup. Cause sometimes the look is good, but that look sometimes start to fade because you ain't tapped that ass in a while. They be like, yo, I could probably get away with it with Pop. I'm gonna just test them. They say, they right back in the order. You know how it go, man. Every once in a while, your kids are good for a good couple months, and then eventually they say, you know what? Let me test them. But my son, right? He on point. There's one thing too I did notice. The school that my kid in. That's another thing I want to mention. The schools that our kids go to, especially as our boys. I'm noticing now that they trying to put a lot of boys inside the goddamn slow class. You know what I'm talking about? Not that you need to drool or no shit like that, but the slow class to make it seem as though that they having behavior issues, they can't learn. And you like, hold up, bitch. I know you ain't just say my son, but you ain't say that. But in your mind, you like, I know they trying to make it seem like my son is really messed up. Check this out. This is I knew something was off. So I'm so active. I actually can't, being a truck driver, you just can't leave the goddamn truck and say I'm going into my son's school. So you know what I'm talking about, G-Man. So I end up going up to a school. He had a meeting. I made this one. First thing I said to them, I want to know what teacher is it that's ignoring my son. So the principal looks at me. He said, hold up. It's a teacher that's ignoring your son? I said, I sent y'all an email. So I know y'all got my email. Nobody responded though. So I looked at soon to be my ex-wife. We ain't together no more. So I looked at her. I said, that email that was sent. And she's like, oh yeah, the email. You know what I found out? When I forwarded the email over, I didn't send it directly to her. I sent it to her. Her ass didn't send my email. She changed it up into her words. That's what I knew when I was talking to the teachers. I said, oh, this motherfucker didn't send what I sent. If she sent what I sent, they would have known what I was talking about. Basically, she's trying to jiggle on their balls and shit to make it seem like what was going on with my son's teacher. So I'm glad I did show up to the meeting because I wanted to know what was going on with my son because they kept making it seem as though my son was having issues. And I'm like, what kind of issues he's having? Come to find out, my son needed glasses. That's why he wasn't paying attention. He couldn't see the shit on the board. And that come from watching his tablet all the goddamn time during the pandemic. That hurt a lot of kids, during the pandemic. Kids been on the tablet. It made a lot of kids really slow learners. Give or take, I don't know why. I think because a lot of kids were growing up during the pandemic just watching the same shit and watching Sesame Street. And then, on Sesame Street, they start doing all the little freak shit. Hey, kids. I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is going on? What? Oh, my God. Turn this shit off. Turn it off. My son don't know why I'm telling him to turn it off, but I wasn't going to explain it to him. He don't need to know. But I'm like, damn, they putting everything in the cartoons. Damn, I remember Sesame Street was fun to watch. Now you got to worry about holding nuts on Sesame Street. I'm like, yo, when did we start implementing things into cartoons of certain characters kissing each other that are the same? I'm like, come on, dog. When I seen this cartoon he was watching, the girl had green hair. I'm like, hold up. I know this ain't, they putting that in there. And little do you know, I'm watching it with them, but I'm not watching it. But I'm watching it. You know how you be on the couch and you doing your thing on your phone, and then next thing you know, I'm like, what the fuck? And he looking, he's like, yeah, Dad, look, they're friends. I said, hey, you gonna watch something different. I ain't say why, I just said, hey, you gonna watch? I said, damn, dog. And y'all wonder why some of these kids walking around, I'm just saying, wanting to play with different parts of people's bodies. And you, hold up, where you get this from? Dog, pay attention to these cartoons. Phones and tablets are damaging our brains. Yes, it is. It is. It is. Don't give them baby. Yeah, and I did. Oh, gee, man, I fell short. That's my first son. He would have been a twin. Oh, man, that makes me sad sometimes. But, hey, I'm blessed. I have my son. And, gee, man, I messed up on that part. I did. I messed up. But, you know, you live and you learn. So now, you know what I mean? But one thing I can tell you, my son's sharp as hell, though. I teach him. He knows how to do stuff on, like, the renovations and stuff. He see me renovate everything from his room. Like, how this used to be a closet right here. This used to be a closet. Over there where that desk is at, the L shape, that was a whole big-ass closet I took out. This room looked... This was a drug room. Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a drug... I don't know why I called it a fucking drug room. I had tenants. They were all... Look. They were all white too, so if people think, oh, no black people, nah. These are all white. It was a pain in the ass, yo. Pain in the ass. They had a daughter that was just... The floor I'm on right now, this is the third floor. This is my office right here. My office or my YouTube room. The boom boom room. Ah! Come on, girl. Tell me with no gums. I mean gums, no teeth. That's what I meant. Gums, no teeth. Hold up, y'all don't need to know my business. But this room right here, my office, the room right next door, right here is my full gym. I have a full gym with everything in it and everything. So I customize it to my liking. Look, this is the part about buying your own shit, getting your own stuff, getting your own. That's why I'm a big component. You know what I mean, G-Man? I'm a big component. Having your own shit, man. That way you customize it to your liking. As long as you are present, you will be good. Yes, definitely. I play around my son. Y'all see, if y'all on my live, when we going places, we always in New York. We all, you know what I mean? We always going to different places. You know what I mean? Right now he wants to go to Dubai. I said, nah, motherfucker, you got to wait till at least you're around at least 11 or 12 years old. You going to remember this shit. We'll get to Dubai. And the next thing you know, he like, I won't play on my tablet. You shit me. You ain't playing no damn tablet. Not here. Nah, but I want to make sure he go to different places as he get older because I want him to remember it. I don't want to be like some of these parents that just take their kids somewhere. Their kid don't remember none of that shit. They be like, I went there? Parent really just went there because they wanted to go. They just used the kid for leverage. Nah. I'm going places and I take... Anywhere I go now, I take my son. He's with me everywhere. We just took my mom out. My mom was up in Maryland. We took my mom out for her retirement party. It was just me, my mom, and my son. And my sisters. That's another story. I love him. I'm punching him right in the grill right now. But I wouldn't do it for real. But y'all know. If you a guy and you got nothing but sisters, you know what I'm talking about. Some of these, pain in your ass. But I love them. So it was just me, my mom, and my son. And we rocked out, yo. We had a ball, yo. We had a ball. I wouldn't change it for anything. I tell you what, though. The place we went to was a bunch of goddamn big backs. These motherfuckers, dog, they had so many big Jones in that joint. I said, yo, dog. Within 30 minutes of being in the ambulance. Oh, man, that ain't funny. Oh, man. Dog, the ambulance pulled up. Yo, look. You ever go somewhere in the food banging, but you see these people, like, dog, I'm going to keep it real. Motherfuckers got to get that weight under order, man. Like, I can understand you could be a little bit overweight, but, dog, if you go into an area where the food is banking and they give you crazy portions and you see motherfuckers coming in as 400 and 500 pounds, Your fucking family don't love you. It's no way. You one step away from fucking croaking. Dog, we was eating and then now why am I laughing? That shit ain't funny. The fucking ambulance pulled up. The ambulance, look, they pulled up, and my mom was like, she looked over at me. I looked out the window, like it was the window where our seat was at, and I looked. Dog, it was the big lady that left out. I said, "This motherfucker eat her car." I don't know what happened. That's crazy for the ambulance to pull up to a restaurant, and I was like, "Yeah." The food was banging. It was like one of them buffets, but it was an expensive buffet. Whereas though they had seafood, Maryland got some banging ass food, dog. I thought Jersey got food too, but Maryland got different type of food, like that seafood, them crab cakes. Oh my god, oh that shit make you smack your grandma. Like literally, I smacked the dog shit out of my grandma off of that goddamn food. Don't give a damn. I say sorry to my grandma and mom. But dog, that shit was banging. Banging. When we left that joint, my mom said, "You leaving, go home tonight?" I said, "Nope, I'm staying here tonight, mom." Dog, my son was walking around chilling, man. We ended up staying majority of the weekend with my mom. But man, we had a ball. Had a ball. And it made me realize, man, you gotta cherish these moments, yo. Oh, G man, you got two sons, one 29, the other 50. Damn, G. Damn, G man, hold on. I want to rerun the same age. G man, what's your age bracket? You in your 40s, 30s, 40s? Al Boogie. How you say 49? Oh shit, back dog. Damn, I'm 45. I just turned 45. That's what I'm talking about, dog. Blessings. Damn, that's a blessing, dog. You know what's crazy? I would have had shit. How old? Let me see. Motherfucker about to have a baby, but it didn't quite go down. This motherfucker is about to have a baby. She's maybe like 2 months in, told me she gonna take me to court for child support and shit like that. I was like, I'm gonna make her disappear. No, I didn't mean that. I'm just saying, at that time, I felt that way. So that motherfucker would have been about well, if I had the kid, would have been about 25, 26. Damn. Yo, that shit. Dog, you ever hook up with somebody? I met this motherfucker on a one night stand, and then I was fucking with her for a good 2 months straight. I was wilding, dog. I was wilding. That shit was, man, that shit was crazy. Everything is all good till a motherfucker get pregnant. Then you be sitting there looking stupid, like, why'd I do that? I'm sorry. Lust is going to take most of us out. So, hey, I'd rather go out that way. Hey, it is what it is, man. That's why they always say, like, matter of fact, my man Ariel in Houston. Houston is up there. Like, they just talked about the places that got the most. Atlanta, Houston is going rampant in diseases. But this is the sad part about areas that's populated with the most diseases. They got the baddest Jones. That's why I say, dog, we're undefeated. There's no way we're gonna be able to survive this world, dog, without leaving here. What's up? You ever been to the tunnel in New York City? This is crazy, dog. I tried to get to the tunnel, like, damn, I was like, we was trying to drive back to back in our cars. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. Something ended up happening, and when we went to get up there, dog, that was my first time going to New York. We couldn't fucking find parking, dog. And dog, I'm telling you, if y'all never been in New York, don't fucking play yourself and park no goddamn 5 or 6 blocks away from no club. And then you gotta make it back to your car. Especially everybody driving expensive cars. So you blending in with, so I never got a chance to experience the tunnel, yo. Damn, I wanted to. Because I used to hear the tunnel was the shit. But I also heard the tunnel was wild, too. I heard it was wild. And I also used to hear it too. Cash used to get it outside the tunnel. I heard the tunnel was the shit. Our spot in Philly was Palmer's. Palmer's in Transit. The shit. Palmer's was the shit. Damn, dog. I miss those days. I'm not gonna front. I do. I do. I do. G-Man, did you ever come to Philly to the Palmer's? We had a spot at one time that used to call Brave. I think it's called Brave New World, some shit like that. That was downtown in Center City. That was popping too. But Palmer's was located in front of a fucking project. How that makes sense? I remember I had this joint from Jersey come through. They broke right into her shit. I told her to come to the club. This bitch parked her car. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. This joint parked her car directly. Yo, that's how I can tell people ain't got common sense. She couldn't find parking. So she parked directly in front of the goddamn project, away from the club, and had to walk almost 2 blocks. Yo, they broke right in her shit, yo. Like, oh my God, yo. I felt bad for her, so I ended up paying for her window. Can't wait from Jersey. And what's crazy is, I met her in Jersey at this club. This club was whack as shit, but I went to Jersey because dog. Sometimes you like to be seen going out, especially when you out. And I met her, and I was like, damn, she was tough. And what was crazy is when I met her, she was my girl for like 2 years. She was thorough though, dog. Now I'm not thinking about it. She was really thorough. She was a wifey type, but I ain't do her right. But I ain't do her dirty. But you know how it go, man. When you younger, man. When you younger, it's certain relationships, especially and G man. I know it's got to be some relationships when you got like as you got older, you set back. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I don't know where you at now. You could be married in a good marriage, so I don't know. But I know some people on here that probably had some good relationships that they sit back and be like, damn, I fucked that up. Damn. I wish I could get that back. But then sometimes you get that shit back and be like, nah, that bitch garbage. I don't want that back. I don't want it back. I'm cool. You go back to something old. Yeah, it was different. Nah, I was in NY. Got you. So you was always in NY. What part of NY you grew up in? What's crazy is my longest relationship was a Joan that was from White Plains. And she was in Philly on school. And we end up, dog, I was going to marry her. But I started acting dumb. Oh, the Bronx. You know what's crazy? I remember my first time in New York. When I first stayed the night, I had this Spanish. This Spanish one was mixed with so much shit out, dog. I don't even know what the fuck she's mixed with. She said she had Colombian. She was Spanish, Colombian. And so she had a bunch of shit. New York, man, some of these girls, man, they mixed with so much shit. She used to come to Philly on the train from Queens. So I promised her. I said, look, I'm going to come to Queens. She said, you promised you going to come. I came there. I did. Stayed the whole weekend. And I'm going to tell you something. I really did fuck with her. But I knew it was a dumb move that I went to her crib in Queens because for some odd reason, something seemed off. It wasn't uncomfortable there. I had a good time at her crib. But I'm going to tell you what seemed off. The way the crib looked. The crib was clean. But for some odd reason, I didn't see no pictures. And I was like, damn, what do dad look? I don't know what his dad looked like. So I said, where your son's father at? She never gave me an answer. So I used to be like, yo, I hope this nigga don't pop the fuck up. Well, little behold, maybe a month later after I stayed from her crib, because she kept coming to Philly. She always kept coming to Philly, but I paid for her train ride. When she get to Philly, I give her money for the. She didn't ask me for it. She'd come, and then she'd come with her son. Oh man, we had a ball. I had a ball. But I remember one day It was in the middle of the week. I got a phone call, a New York number, and I'm looking at the number. I'm like, yo, that's not her number. So I'm thinking she might be calling me from another number. I picked the phone up. This motherfucker said, he said what he said. He didn't say nothing smart. And he was just like, how do you know such and such? So I hung the phone up. I was caught off guard, yo. So I'm glad that I never got caught just laying up at her crib. That's why I say, man, every place is dangerous. It's the same thing as New York. You come to Philly and you don't know who crib you. You know how I go. But I love New York, man. But you couldn't fucking pay me to live there, though. I can't live there. I love the city. I love New York. But boy, I'm going to keep it real. It is too goddamn... Dog, I think as you start getting older, you can't take all those people all in one place. It felt like you can't breathe after a while, yo. Like after a good 5, 6, 8 hours there, I'm like, alright, it's time to come back home. You know what I mean? G-Man, have you ever felt like that being in New York? Because I felt like that. I go to New York a lot. I'm in Atlanta now, much better, much better parking. But G-Man, did you feel like that when you was in the NY? Like, felt like claustrophobic, like it was like, yo, I need some fucking breathing room. Like I feel like that when I'm in New York. If I'm there for longer than 8 to 10 hours, I gotta bounce. Like after a while, I start to get tired of seeing so many people. Cause dog, if none of you ever been in New York, you don't have no breathing room, yo. It's people on top of fucking people on top of people on top of people. It's like it never stops. It's like endless. It's like oh shit, this 11:30 and my ass getting tired. I know I'm about to log on. Yeah, hold on. I was used to it, but when I left, I wasn't rushing back. I got a boy now. That's Jamaican boy. Coolest along what? He from the Bronx. Damn, and you from the Bronx. He from the Bronx. And he said, he can't stand it now. He said, because coming from the Bronx and now living where he live at now in Jersey, he said, dog, he don't miss that shit at all. He said, every once in a while he miss it when he go back. He said, but then he's over it after a couple hours. He's like, man, I'm tired of this traffic. And every time I go to New York, I'm driving. My daily plan when I go, me and my son goes to the Statue of Liberty. That's something he like to do every time we go. He like to go to the Statue of Liberty. So we just do the same shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, the food good. Yeah. I tell you what, y'all goddamn chopped cheese ain't shit. Our cheesesteaks, baby. That's all that shit is. A hamburger chopped up with cheese and all type of greens and shit like that. This shit is banging though. I ain't gonna front. It is. But y'all ain't got shit on my cheesesteak. So don't hate on my shit, G-Man. Philly got it locked on the cheesesteaks. Y'all be walking around New York eating a glizzy. Eating that hot dog, shoving it down y'all throat. Like look at this nigga walking down the street eating a goddamn sausage. Looking crazy. Nah, but y'all, I'm about to say y'all do got some good meat. But that shit don't. Pause. Time out. Pause. But y'all, them food trucks, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Them food trucks the shit, yo. Especially them trucks with the Muslim balls. Oh my God, that shit be banging, dog. I don't know how they wash their hands, but if that food is made with ass and grease, hey, so be it. That shit tastes good. That's one thing about y'all food trucks. Them food trucks be popping. They do. I'm not gonna hold you. I can talk all the shit I want, but New York do got it on lock. Y'all do got some banging food too. That yellow. Ah, come on, G-Man. Why you starting, dog? Yes. I had the one Spanish spot from a food truck. It had the yellow rice with the peas and the vegetables in it. But then it had the chick. Oh my God. Dog, that shit be so good. Then they throw some of the vegetables. Dog, you be like, I'm healthy eating this joint, but that shit don't feel healthy when it go down. You be stuffed in a mug. It be good. If y'all want to spend $45 or left ass cheek for some pizza, go to New York. I had this pizza shop me and my son went to. That pizza was so good. Dog, we had four. We had two slices a piece. I don't know why I got four slices a piece. So don't ask me why, but I did, and it was dumb because I didn't even finish it all. But I did. I took it with me. Dog, that shit came to $40. I'm like, only in New York, yo. Four slices a piece that come to $40 along with two. I had a monster and he had an apple juice. I'm like, yeah, boy, that shit be expensive. Oh shit, show up in this thing. Show done crept up in this thing. Vegas probably second. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Show, hold up. Nah, New York got when it comes to yeah. Nah, no, don't get it twisted. Jersey got up. No, Jersey up there too. Nah, I ain't gonna fuck. Dog, I'm gonna keep it real. They all Philly, Jersey, and New York. Those three areas all got popping food. I ain't gonna hold you. Cause one thing about Philly, we got popping spots. Popping spots that stay open late as shit. That do cheesesteaks. Got all type of shit. They got this one spot where they made a shrimp cheesesteak. I was like, man, it's nasty shit. When I got it, man, I fell in love with it. I said, damn. It had like some type of, man, I don't know what they had on it. That shit was good. But, let me see. Vegas second. Hey, show. So you know what's crazy? When I went to Vegas, I asked for pancakes, and they told me they didn't have pancakes. They didn't know what that was. Dog, I did not know in Vegas they don't know what pancakes are. Couldn't find out they fucking do know what pancakes is. But they don't call them pancakes. They call them flapjacks. Dog, I told the lady I wanted 3 pancakes. So I was in the this hotel that used the Imperial Palace. They knocked it down. So I stayed the last time I stayed at the MG and Grand. But when I was at Imperial Palace, it was in the middle of the strip in Vegas. They knocked it down though. And I remember asking for pancakes. So she said, well, this is the menu. So I looked at the menu. And I'm like, well, no, you do got pancakes. Here they go right here. She said, oh, no, these are flapjacks. I'm like, flapjacks? What the fuck they call pancakes flapjacks? That's what they called them. So I told her, well, let me get 3 flapjacks. She said, you sure? So I was like, well, what the flapjack look like then? She showed me what it looked like. So I was like, it do look like a pancake. She said, but it's this big. Dog, the goddamn flapjack is big as the damn regular size big plate. Dog, she got 1 flapjack, which was 1 pancake. I only ate half of that shit. Yo, that shit was banging. So yeah, some of these places, y'all flapjacks, yup. Dog, that's why I know, like the West Coast, man. It's funny how you can be in the same United States. We all in the U.S., but so different from the West Coast to the East Coast. From the things that they eat, from the things that they call, what they call, like we're, Philly cheesesteaks. But then you go to the, one thing I noticed about the West Coast, they got a lot of Mexican food. And that shit be popping. We went to this Mexican spot off of Vegas Strip. I forgot where it was at. But that shit only came to my plate. That joint was only like, I think it's $25 or $26. My plate was filled with tacos, it had tacos, salt tacos. It had the vegetables, the lettuce, the meat. Dog, it was like 3 different plates and it was all for me. Oh my God, that shit was so good, dog. I said, yo, Vegas, you can get fat here. But it is what it is, man. That's how it be, man. You go to some of these spots, man. That's why I say, man, you gotta travel, y'all. I'm glad Show brought that up. Y'all been driving, but I'm listening to. Oh, you driving too? Oh, damn, I forgot. Show you over the road, aren't you? I forgot you over the road. Yup, flapjack. Yup, you know it. And they do. Why they block that, dog? I don't know what they thought you said. How they block that? I don't know why they be blocking stuff, y'all. They tried to block Show for saying even want the call them flapjacks. I don't know why they blocked that, John. I had to unblock it. Yeah. Oh, so it's not flapjack. It's flap Jax. Oh, damn. But, hey, that joint was banging. But Vegas is popping, man. Vegas is fun. But the one time I did stay in Vegas, I stayed for 5 days. I never did that shit again. On the third day, I was bored out of my mind. I didn't feel like doing shit else. All them long walks, nah. I'm like, shit, it feel like I'm in a relay now. Every time, then my wife at the time, she wanted to go see Michael Jackson. I'm like, bitch, you go see Michael Jackson. You let him go beat it. Like, I'm not, Some shit you just don't feel like going to go do. You be like, man, like I know some dude be like, I'm gonna just do it. The wife want to do it. Shit, I already spent enough money. I'm like, you can go. I ain't feel like going. I don't know, man. I feel like watching old fake Michael Jackson grabbing his dick. Grabbing his, Hey, man. Yeah, I'm gonna log off, y'all, because I can tell I'm wilding out now. I look, the alcohol done caught up. And I gotta get to bed at a decent time. Damn, it's 11:30. Yeah. Don't even, yeah. But look, y'all, I appreciate the love on here. Peace, fam. Yeah, it's time to go to bed now. Mess around, y'all see me, I'll be like, hey, y'all, I lost my motherfucking job today. He like, B, how you lose your job? I fucking went to work drunk, fucking around with y'all. I ain't trying to go to work drunk. Damn. Boy, that motherfucker crept up, too. That shit crept up. Hey. All right, y'all. I know. I'm a little off now. Let me get off before they mess around and clip my live that I've been suspended and shit. I don't know, these motherfuckers suspend me. Oh, you suspend me for it. She said indecent exposure. You got up butterballed ass naked. Bitch, I had clothes on. They was just see-through. Oh, shit. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe, yo. Hey, look, G-Man, y'all be safe. Show, be safe. Hey, show, try careful out there, yo. And stop messing with them girls on the road with no teeth. You know what? That might not be a bad idea. No teeth. Yeah, I give you a minute tops. No teeth. She showed right on the news. Motherfucker crashed into the goddamn toll booth. Getting the goddamn Nowinski. my favorite. So you hey look. Hey look, I don't give a damn what nobody say. My pop over the road, I know he be doing it. I be like, Pop, you be messing with him? He said, hey. Motherfucker ain't never said no. He just said, hey. Yeah. You be yeah, let me get off this show. I'm wilding out. Plus, let me go to bed. All right, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. Be safe out here, y'all. Yep. All right, y'all.